Hey, it's Dr. Josh here, and in this video, I'm going to briefly demonstrate the bird dog exercise. This is an exercise I use in the clinic all the time, and there's typically 3 different situations when I find it can be effective. If a patient has a lot of pain, this can be a pain relieving position. Sometimes exercise has this crazy effect on pain where it actually brings all the pain down. Simply using the muscles makes us feel better. So it's perfect for that. The second situation is teaching patients how to brace. We don't need to brace all the time, but there are situations when we're lifting weights, certain jobs, where having a bit of a brace can be really helpful. This exercise helps us do that too. The third situation seems a bit counterintuitive, but it's actually helping patients who are in a lot of pain and they're so braced. They're like the Tin Man, they can't relax. When we do this exercise and when we cue it up to breathe deeply, it's gonna take that bracing or that rigidity they're feeling from like an 11 out of 10 down to a 6 out of 10, which is much more tolerable, typically feels a lot better. So I'm gonna demonstrate it now, and I'll walk you through how we can make it more challenging as we get better at it. The key with this one is don't rush it. There's no prize for being the best at bird dogs. Take it slow, breathe deep, do the basics, and then just slowly progress it as it gets more comfortable. So we will start out of this tabletop position, hand and shoulders about shoulder width apart, just nice and stable, back flat. And then from here, first thing we're gonna do is just try and reach an arm forward as far as we can. And then take 3 big deep breaths. 1, 2, 3. For a lot of my patients, even doing that, we'll start seeing shaking through their upper back or through their hips, through their core. If you're not sure if you're doing this right, you can have someone help you, you can have someone record you like I'm doing with this video, or you can simply take your cell phone and place it on the small of your back. When you do this, if the cell phone falls off, it means you're twisting out of the right position and you need to readjust. So it's a nice little cue at home to make sure that your technique looks good. From this position, we could do the other arm, 3 deep breaths, and then we can start to do the legs as well. And I like the cue of pretend you're going to kick a hole through the wall behind you. So push that heel through the wall behind you and then breathe from here. The leg, much more challenging than the arm. It's usually a good sign when we master that we're able to move on to the next variation. The more challenging variation after we can do each arm and each leg individually is to do an arm and a leg together. So we will do opposite sides. So it'll be left arm and right leg. They'll both come out and we'll breathe into this position, okay? So 3 big breaths here, and then we'll bring everything back in. Kick that left leg out behind you as if you're putting it through the wall, and keep this arm out in front. 3 big breaths here, and bring everything back in. 3 to 5 big breaths is usually challenge enough. We can even work all the way up to 10 deep breaths if we're really trying to progress this. But for most people, 3 to 5 is a good start. And I'd repeat that 3 to 5 times. The final variation that I will take patients to in the clinic, still keeping that cell phone on the back to make sure that we're nice and stable. I'm gonna go and add more movement to this. So it'll be out and then scoop everything in. Out, scoop everything in, right? And we'll do the other side too. And everything here should be nice and controlled. We should still be able to breathe the whole time. And that's typically as far as we ever take it before I'm getting patients to start loading things up in other ways. So squats, deadlifts, hinges, a million variations of exercise that'll still use the core. But at that point, we should have a better understanding of our bracing, our breathing, and how those things interact. As well, when patients are ready to progress from here, pain and symptoms are usually doing much better. So pain and symptoms and function have improved when we're ready to move on. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Happy to help.